I know you're really big on it, but one of the big things that has helped me, and we can branch off on this, is the use of CBDs for brain injuries. That's been incredible for my recovery.
Yeah, CBD is a non-psychoactive compound that's in cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a crazy thing that's going on here in the States. I don't know how you guys treat it up in Canada, but it's essentially being turned into a Schedule I drug now, even though it's not psychoactive.
Stupid.
Well, it's 100% shenanigans by pharmaceutical companies. It's 100% influenced by these people that stand to lose money because CBD oil helps a lot of people with inflammation, a lot of people with chronic arthritis.
They're saying cancer.
Yeah.
There's a potential to cure cancer. I don't know. There's not enough studies, but hey.
Yeah,
it's doing good things.
It certainly helps treat it. It treats inflammation, and inflammation, apparently, if you talk to doctors, they'll tell you it's a huge issue, and one of the biggest issues when it comes to diseases, discomfort, and things like arthritis again, and headaches. You know, like when you're taking a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory for a headache, like if you're taking an Advil or an ibuprofen, what you're taking is something that reduces inflammation. I mean, that's what it's for, and CBD oil does the same thing, but it's natural, it's healthy, it's not bad for you, and it doesn't get you high. It's not like something's going to fuck you up at work.
It's been crazy because when I was going in that dark room there for 3 weeks, I literally, doctors were giving me like 6 to 8 Percocets a day, and they were giving me 2 muscle relaxants for my back pain. So what happens?
What was going on with your back?
I don't know, something with the nerves from my brain, because it must have damaged some of the inflammation, and it was causing like this back pain that I couldn't even get out of bed with. So they were giving me all of these things to cope with it and then all of a sudden I got my sisters and my family to do some research. At that point, man, I would have taken anything. You could have given me coke, heroin, acid, you name it, I would have taken it to recover. Because those pills, they were messing me up. I was going through, like, I was living in a cartoon world in that dark room. I had no idea what was going on. I was tripping out. And then it got to the point where I was like, listen, I got people to research, and they said, hey, these CBDs help. My family did all the research, and they ended up getting me some CBD stuff. And
so in what form did you take it?
I got it as an oil.
And so did you just take it on drops in your tongue or
something? Yeah, I put
it
underneath my tongue, basically, kind of thing. And I was able to cut out all of those Percocets and everything just with CBD oil.
In how long of a time?
Right away.
Right away.
Right away. I stopped because, again, with those concussions and brain injuries, a lot of times you develop insomnia. So I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating much. What is CBDs and cannabis good for? Munchies. And sleeping. And it was good for my recovery. So it helped manage to get off all of those painkillers. And now I'm able to, be healthy and control my brain headaches and stuff without having to take ibuprofen and Advils.
Are you still getting headaches?
They come. Yeah, they're still there. And you got to remember, I'm working 3 full-time jobs. And if you're not, even if your brain is healthy and you're working 3 full-time jobs, you're probably going to get a headache or 2 throughout your day.
Yeah, but when you get a headache, it's a different experience.
It's a different one.
Because you're also, you're so aware of where it can go.
Yeah, it's scary. So it's been helping, man. And I know you have, it's on my list to watch, but because I was explaining, everyone's like, yo, you got to tell Rogan about your experience with CBD. And I haven't got to watch it. I think you wrote it was in 2007 you came out with The Union?
Yeah, that was a documentary by my buddy Adam, who had, he lives up in BC. And that whole area is essentially run by the marijuana industry, even though marijuana is illegal. So they made this documentary explaining how without marijuana, your entire economy is fucked. Like, it's this underground economy, and they call it The Union. It was a really, really good documentary.
It's on my list.
And then he went on to make The Culture High, which is also an excellent documentary that he made after that.
I'll watch both.
Well, it's, we've been hoodwinked in this country, unfortunately, in all countries now because of the influence of America. We've been hoodwinked by the propaganda that they came up with in the 1930s, which wasn't even about pharmaceutical drugs back then. It was really about the paper industry. Yeah, it's William Randolph Hearst, who was a real creepy guy, and he was the reason why Orson Welles made that movie Citizen Kane. He was the inspiration for that movie.
Okay.
About one guy who was kind of dominating the world with his influence. And William Randolph Hearst didn't just own newspaper companies; he also owned paper mills, and he owned forests. These enormous forests where they would chop down trees and make paper with them. And in the 1930s, they came out with a product called a decorticator. And a decorticator is a machine that allowed them to effectively process hemp fiber very easily.
Okay.
Because hemp is a very unusual plant. And that, like this table that we have here, this is oak. and oak is a very hard wood. Well, hemp is as hard as oak, but it's way lighter. It's like a freaky alien plant. Like if you pick up a hemp stalk, like this is a decorticator that they're this is a like a modern one, I guess. So you throw the hemp fibers in there and it grinds them up. Which, by the way, hemp is still federally illegal, even though it's not psychoactive. And there's so much stupidity that's all attached to this one amazing plant.
I always thought it was just because it was under so much has to be under 1% THC, or is that a myth? It's not.
I don't think
to make
that's
it legal to sell or something along those lines.
I don't know. You can grow it in some states, but the thing is, like, federally it's still illegal. But they're trying to change that. It's just slow and painful. And again, it's all the propaganda from the 1930s. So William Randolph Hearst, who owned newspapers, they came out with this decorticator, and then Popular Science magazine had this cover. See if you can find it, Jamie. Hemp, the new billion-dollar crop. Because of this, see, they used to use hemp way back in the day. Like the drafts of the Declaration of Independence were written on hemp. The sails that they used for boats were all made out of hemp. All that stuff was out of hemp. In fact, canvas, the word canvas comes from the word cannabis. So the Mona Lisa is painted on hemp. So they came up with that, and then when Eli Whitney came up with the cotton gin, cotton was more effective to use. Yeah, so they were going to use it for clothes, and you see it on the cover of Popular Science magazine. It was on the cover, though, Jamie. See if you... Is it Popular Mechanics? Is that what it is? Anyway, so they used to use it for parachutes. They use it for all these different things. But then when Eli Whitney came up with the cotton gin, it was easier for them to make clothes out of cotton, because hemp requires a lot to break down the fibers and turn them into cloth. Yeah, because it's a crazy plant. Yeah, and it makes this unbelievable paper. Like, hemp paper is so superior to this paper that we all use. Like, this paper that we use is shit. It rips so easy. Hemp paper is really hard to rip.
Thicker.
But it weighs the same. It looks the same. It feels the same. But it's just a better fiber. So instead of William Randolph Hearst embracing this, he would have lost millions of dollars because he would have had to replant these forests and turn them into hemp. He decided to go the other route and just start making propaganda against hemp. So he started calling it marijuana. See, marijuana was never a name for cannabis. Marijuana was a wild Mexican tobacco. They took this name from this wild Mexican tobacco.
And just called it.
They started talking about this new drug that's making white women get raped by Mexicans and black people.
Nice.
Plant wizards fight wartime drug peril. Look at that. We need hemp, lots of it, for corkage, but hemp means marijuana too. Can scientists take the drug menace out of this useful plant? Hilarious. So all this shit came from this one asshole. One asshole and Harry Anslinger, who was the guy in charge of, well, you know, they originally got a lot of people that were involved in the alcohol prohibition. And once alcohol prohibition was done, they needed something else to fight. So they said, well, look, we got something right here.
Which alcohol probably does more damage to your body than...
Oh, it does. Trust me. I was drunk as fuck Monday night. I think Monday night I might have been blackout drunk.
People were telling me... for like 3 days, probably.
Oh, yeah. I feel like shit today a little bit.